Hello friends, my name is RagePanda1 and this is my guide video on the Female Lionstone. If you clicked on this video, then you've probably already heard that the Female Lionstone is one of the best characters in the game. It is a lot of people's opinion that she is the best character in the game, and I don't think they're far off a base there. The main reason why she is so good is her ultimate skill, which increases all teammates' strength and attack speed by a base of 193.5% for 5 seconds, going to a maximum of 393% for 5 seconds. So is the ultimate skill the only skill that matters on this person? Well, kind of. It kind of is. Her passive skill reduces the total damage taken from enemies from ranged attacks. A lot of people disregard this as completely useless. I think they are crazy. When your frontliners run up and engage, they generally take some aggro from the backliners as well, and reducing all of that damage is quite essential as the Female Lionstone can be pretty squishy. Her automatic skill, however, connects with a teammate with the lowest health, increasing the fortitude of the caster and the teammate, and the caster takes up to 50% of damage dealt to the teammate, and that damage taken starts out at 20%. So there are pros and cons to this ability. Protecting your squishier people, that is a good thing. It's good to keep your team alive. However, as I've said before, this lady is quite squishy, and so making her take extra damage is not always the best course of action because her ultimate skill is so powerful that you may want to sacrifice a DPS to keep her around for an extra activation. This is one of the few skills in the game that I would say that if you don't level it up, it's fine. If you need books for other people, you should use them on the other people. If you want to keep your DPS alive a little more, then you're going to crank this up as high as you can. But in my teams, the way that I play it is I level this skill up last among everything else, and I don't feel at all bad if it isn't all the way leveled up. It does not say that it increases the amount of fortitude, and it also doesn't tell you the amount of fortitude that you get from this. If that levels up with the level of this, then it might change. You might need to have this skill maxed out as much as possible because fortitude is pretty helpful against most attacks, aside from huge ultimate attacks. It does take a little bit of knowledge and skill to get the most out of this character, even though she is one of the easiest characters in the game to play. If you put her on any team, her ultimate skill is going to make a huge difference, but if you know how to build her with traits and position her in fights, then she's going to do a lot more work for you. When we're looking at traits, we need to understand that this character is not going to do any damage. She doesn't need her strength to be high for any of these skills to be increased. Getting strength on her and increased damage is something that you want to avoid at all costs. It really doesn't help her at all. Of course, the Female Lionstone always comes with Ambitious, which makes her gain additional energy at the start of the battle. Two traits that I would consider almost essential on this character are Energetic. Being a frontline character, she needs to be able to survive, so Energetic is just probably the single best trait for making that happen. Honorable is also quite good for that. Just having a percentage damage reduction can be extremely huge, so I think Honorable is her second best trait. These first three are going to be in both of my builds for this character. What we really want on this character is we want to enhance our team. Anything that we can do to enhance our team makes this a better character, and she's already quite good. If you are not running a Lume on your team, which many people are not, then I believe that Sanguine is one of the best traits that you can put on your Female Lionstone. It takes what she does normally and just increases it to apply throughout the rest of the battle. I don't think you could ever go wrong having this on your Female Lionstone unless you are also using a Lume on your team, because this effect doesn't stack. The only issue is that it's kind of difficult to get these companions, and then you need to level them to Mythic if you want to have a real chance of getting a good version of this trait on your character. In the same vein as Sanguine, we have Inspiring, which increases the damage of all champions for the first 10 seconds. This effect also cannot be stacked, and if you're running an All-Girl on your team, then you will not want to put this on your Lionstone. However, if you don't have one on your team, then this is just more of your Lionstone increasing people's damage. So you could run a build that was Ambitious, Honorable, Energetic, Sanguine, and Inspiring, and you would have yourself a relatively tanky person who is increasing the damage of your team in many ways. I think that is one of the best ways to run her, although using clan traits can be difficult, especially if you're earlier in the game. If you don't have access to those clan traits, then you're going to be running Ambitious, Honorable, Energetic, Loyal, which is Fortitude increased by 40%, and Hexproof. Hexproof is very easy to get, and while our attacks aren't all that impressive on this character, she's going to constantly be attacking and constantly having a chance to get off a silence, and if you silence somebody when they're activating one of their abilities, it will cancel the ability. It would be nice if we could have some lifesteal on this character and have it be useful, however, none of the lifesteal will be useful. You can see mine rolled with bestial on her already, and this will restore Constitution by 13% of our strength every 5 attacks. You can see right now we have 2,068 strength and we have 121,000 health. So 13% of our 2,068 strength is 268. 268 heal is so minute that it is not even worth being in the game. That trait should not exist in the game, at least in its current form. It should say that it heals you for 10 to 13% of your constitution. It should have nothing to do with your strength. It's useless the way it is. Don't ever use bestial. In terms of positioning, a lot of people run 2 frontliners and they always run them in positions 1 and 3. That is not something that you need to do. You can put these people wherever you want to put them, and just know that your frontliners are going to make it to the front line and you don't really have to worry about that. When I'm fighting something like a Sally Horn, having my frontliner go into the Sally Horn right away is essentially useless to me. The Sally Horn is just going to push me farther away from the group anyway, so I'm going to hide those on one side, and I'll put a guy here that I don't care if he gets pushed back anyway, and I'm not worried that the Sally Horn is going to do too much damage to me when I am not a frontliner. The other times that you can stack your frontliners are when you're trying to kill one specific side of the field. You'll put all of your DPS on one side, and you can stack your frontliners behind each other. So you can see that team actually had higher power than we did. They had a fairly decent setup. Maybe not the best in the world, but we were able to easily win that fight because we just saw that they had a Sally Horn that was going to disrupt our frontliners, and we just countered it by not engaging that Sally Horn. There isn't much to say in terms of synergies because this character synergizes with literally everybody in the game. However, you can enhance it a couple of ways. Number one, having burst mages on your team with huge ultimates is a big deal because she is mainly there to increase the damage of those ultimates. And of course, we've gone over the inspiring and sanguine traits, which go well into boosting your team's damage, which seems to be the goal of the teams that she would be on. And the one rare synergy that people will usually shy away from is that the main issue with the female Lionstone is that she does not live long enough, and therefore you usually need to have at least one other frontliner or she just dies too fast and there's nothing to be done about it. You can counter that with a female Aeson by increasing her defense quite a bit and getting off those clutch heals. If you do go that route, it's a good idea to have energetic on the rest of your team because you need to give your female Aeson time to heal people when they need it. So congratulations on getting your female Lionstone. Hopefully she is mythic for you. I think the Lionstone companion is a great second companion to get after your first 1-star companion is completed for the purposes of farming mythic traits. I want to thank you for watching this guide video. I have been Rage Panda 1, and I will see you in the next one.